Time's up. I'm starting to catch you. Don't forget the 1/3. It's extremely important. You need the 1/3 for the volume of pyramids. You need the 1/3 for the volume of cones. Area of the base times the height. I'm catching you, folks. I'm catching you. Pi radius 9.1 squared. That should be in brackets. Okay, pi r squared. That's the area of the base right there. Times the height, 25. Okay, so you just punch all that out. Let's see what we get. I need to go sideways. Thank you. 9.1. Square that bad boy. Okay, so that's that. Remember my little spiel about plugging this all in the calculator. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Times pi. Okay, so that takes care of everything on the inside of those brackets. I'm going to take that. I'm going to multiply it by 25. That takes care of this. So I've done everything underneath the red crazy underline. I'm getting 6,503.88, and you can see the number there with the shiny light not shining on it. You still got to take care of that 1/3, so just divide by 3. That's the same thing as taking 1/3 of it. 2,100. There's your answer. Volume is 2,167 point. Ooh, if we were to round that to the tenths, what would it be? Well, that 6 would make that 9 a 10, so that would make this an 8. And if you round to the nearest tenths, you got to have a 0 here. You have to have a number in the tenths place. So, man, that is really hard to see with that light. 2,168.0 feet. Wow, folks, did you see what I just did there? That is what we call an authentic Mr. Kosal mistake. Feet squared is surface area. We're doing volume, so let's turn that 2 into a 3. There we go, 2,168.0 feet cubed. There we go. All right. You guys get the idea. Let me throw a curveball at you in this next problem. Let's draw an upside down. Let's draw an upside down cone. Ice cream cone. Put your favorite scoop of Culver's cookie dough right there. Oh no, that's so good. You take a big old bite of ice cream and you gotta gnaw through some cookie dough. It just doesn't get any better than that. We're gonna say the radius is 5 centimeters. We're gonna say the height is, I'm not gonna give it to you. We're gonna say the slant height is 13 centimeters. All right, folks. Here's your curveball. And it's not just because the cone is upside down. It's because I didn't give you a height. In order to find the volume of a cone, you need the height. 1/3 pi r squared times the height. We don't have the height. Use the Pythagorean theorem. This should not be news to you. This should not be difficult to you. We got yourselves a right triangle there. 5 is one of the legs. We have the hypotenuse. We do not have the second leg. So do the Pythagorean theorem. And you should get 12. Some of you knew that immediately even before we did the Pythagorean theorem. This is what we call a Pythagorean triple. It's a 5, 12, 13 Pythagorean triple right triangle. It's a very common right triangle. The most common right triangle is the 3, 4, 5. And then there's an 8, 15, 17 if you remember. And then there's another one that I'm going to be completely honest with you. The quarantine's messed up my brain, so I don't know what the last one is. But these first two are crazy important. That's 12. So here we go. Plug it in. Pi radius 5 squared times the height, which is 12. Not 13. 13 is the slant height. That's the height. All right, that's 25. And 25 times 12. See, can I do mental math? Do I need to bust out my calculator? No, I do not. I do not. If I had 12 times 25, if I had 12 quarters, 4 quarters is $1. 8 quarters is $2. 12 quarters is $3. That's 300. And check this out, folks. You're going to like this. Instead of multiplying it by pi, do the 1/3 times 300. 1/3 of 300, or 300 divided by 3 is 100. So volume is 100 pi. And if I know that pi is 3.141592, if you multiply anything by 100, I love this. I'm not even using a calculator. If you multiply anything by 100, you move the decimal over 2 times. So the volume, I'm going to check this real quick in my calculator, is 314 point, let's see if the decimal was right there. If I had to round to the nearest tenth, because, you know, follow directions in the book, if you got to round to the nearest tenth, that 5 would kick that up to a 2 centimeters cubed. I got to check this. I got to check this. Am I right? Did I get it? Here, let's punch out this. Let's do 5 squared. Okay, 5 squared. Yep, 25 times 12. There's your 300. Let's multiply by pi first, just to be different. And then let's divide by 3. You know, every once in a while I get right. Every once in a while, not bad. Not bad. Okay, folks, I have one more question for you. I have one more problem for you. Let's use the back side of this construction piece of paper. Example 3. I'd like you to find the volume. This is going to be a weird one. I'd like you to make a square. No. I'd like you to make a rectangular pyramid, please. This is going to be a rectangle. I'll give you the dimensions in just a second. And let's turn this into a pyramid, please. Let's do a very small pyramid. Actually, you know what? Just the perspective is kind of messing with me. You know what? I'm going to keep it. Looks fine. Ugh. I'm not happy with that, but too late now. My whiteout's at school, and I haven't been back to school since, well, I left that Friday. Okay, so you've got a pretty small pyramid. You guys can kind of see it just a bit. It's a rectangular pyramid. And I'd like you to put that rectangular pyramid on a rectangular prism. Meaning I'd like you to take this and give it some height. Give it some height. Let's connect these two at the bottom. Try to keep it parallel with that top base edge right there. Okay. And it's a prism, so it's what you're doing, folks, is you're making a box. A prism is a box, but sometimes a prism can be a hexagonal prism. It could be a pentagonal prism. It could be a square prism. A square prism is also known as a dice. A cube. A cube is a square prism, but we're making a rectangular prism. Okay. Sorta, kinda. Not really happy with this picture, but you can kind of visualize it with me. If you need to pause it, pause it. There's no shame in that. Pause it to get your picture right, and then jump back with us. But we have a pyramid, a rectangular pyramid on a rectangular prism. And I'd like you to find the volume of this entire thing. So we're going to fill this entire thing up, the prism and the pyramid, we're going to fill it all up with water. So let me give you some dimensions. I'm going to say that this is 12 inches, base edge right here. This is going to be 4 inches. So likewise, this bottom base is also going to be 12 inches, and this is going to be 4 inches. I'm going to tell you that the height from here to here is 26 inches. And the height of just the pyramid, that little guy right there, that little girl right there, whatever you want to call it, is 7 inches. What do you say, folks? What do you say? Let's find the volume of this. I want to start off. I think I want to start off with the pyramid, because the total volume is going to be the volume of the pyramid plus the volume of the prism, and that's going to give you the total volume. Add the two volumes together, you're going to get the answer. So let's do the volume of the pyramid. I'm just going to write some stuff down. 1/3 area of the base, which, if you're visualizing this with me, the base of the pyramid is this rectangle. So make sure I get the equation right. Let me just kind of go back to my notes. The volume of a pyramid, 1/3 area of the base, Area of the base, it's going to be 12 times 4. I'm just going to write 48, folks. That's the area of the base. Times the height, which is 7. Okay, that's going to give you the volume. If I fill this pyramid up with water, that's it, folks. Plus the volume of the prism, which, talked about this on Monday. It's just going to be the area of the base, which is, you could say 12 times 4. I'm going to write 48 again. Multiply that by the height, which is 26. And if you plug that in the calculator, add these two numbers together, that should be your answer. So let's do this, folks. Okay. Let's do, I'm going to do 48 times, or divided by 3, because I know 48 is divisible by 3. So 48 divided by 3, that's going to take care of that. 16 times the 7. Alright, folks, volume of the pyramid is 112. Plus the volume of the prism, that's going to be a big number. 48 times 26. 1,248. Add those together, it's going to be 1,360. Mental math. Units. Inches. Cube. You might see one of these, maybe two of these in your homework. Have some fun with the homework, folks. Have some fun. Your homework is on page 876. We're almost done with the school year. Keep going. 1 through 6, 8, 10, 11, 13, 26, and 28. As always, midnight after midnight, we're gonna let it all hang out. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you on Friday. So long.